167. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is Atlee Feingold, and I just want to say thank you for being guests on my talk show.
Hi.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored is my way of turning myself into a perfect example for people out there, deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. You should never label yourself or have people label you, and you should prove to them you can stand out to something. You know, I'm so used to saying that I came up with a new catchphrase. It's basically the same thing. We should overcome controversy when dealing with a learning disability, but you should prove to people just because you have a disability, you can still overcome controversy. But I've been saying my old routine for 165 episodes, so it's kind of hard of getting into something new. Oh well, yeah, get into it eventually. But like I said, it's half hour, 45-minute conversation. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to, completely whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So starting off, what can you tell me about yourself?
Well, that is a broad question. My name is Atlee. I'm from San Francisco, California. I live in West Hollywood. And I'm an actress and a writer and a director. And just an overall creator, artist.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask you a lot of easy questions, and you can ask me anything you want. It's a normal conversation. When you were in high school, did you ever do any sports? Were you athletic?
When I was in high school, I did play sports. I was on varsity softball, and I was center field. But mostly I did dance. I was a big dancer, so I was in a lot of dance companies. And then I went to an arts high school, so I got into the musical theater program. So 3 hours of my day was like dance or acting or whatever. Singing, and then a lot of times after school I had rehearsal, so because we had shows like almost every week, so it was a lot of that, like a lot of shows and dance and stuff like that.
Alright. Now the next question I was going to ask you was, well, were you a party animal in college, or were you more of a study nerd?
I would say my party animal days really came after college. I graduated early from college. I graduated in 3 years. So I think I just turned, I don't even think I was 21 when I was in school. And I tried one time getting into a bar with someone's ID when I was young, and I got it taken away, so then I just didn't try again. But I stayed at school for like half of a semester after I graduated. And that's when I turned 21, and so that's when I started going out. And then after college, I went to Europe and did that whole thing and went to festivals and did all that. So I think my party days came after college, actually.
Now, did you ever get the chance? And I always ask the girls this, because if I ask the guys this, it will come off gay. But it's my way to flirt with the girls. So
Yeah.
Have you ever? Trying to find the words for it. Have you ever done a human pyramid before?
Just with my, bodies?
Yeah, like a human pyramid. You climb on top of each other and you form.
Yeah, of course. I used to do that with my cousins all the time.
I love that stuff. I know, I'm a loser.
That's okay.
Yeah, what was the biggest one you ever did? Was it like a 6-person, 10-person?
It was probably 6 or 7 people.
Oh, that's a small one.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, would you ever be up for one, or you don't do that anymore?
Oh yeah, of course.
Well,
who cares? It'd be fun to do a pyramid.
Well, I'm working on a project if you're interested.
What is it?
Basically, well, there's a bunch of them. One is voiceover work. Yeah, I would love to work with you on that. Basically, I would give you a couple lines, you would repeat them, and I would just match them up to the video. Basically, I do a lot of Dumbo work. So basically, I take a scene from Dumbo, like the pyramid, and I will give you the couple of lines. You would repeat them, and I would just match them up to the video. It's just a fan-made parody. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure, you can send it over.
And the other one was, I'm working, because I'm a big fan of the human pyramid stuff, I was interested in entering the Guinness Book of World Records and sending a record for YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to get as many girls together to be part of the pyramid, and I was wondering if you would like to be a part of that.
Yeah, sure, except for, I mean, I'm not going to fly to New York just to be in a pyramid. If you fly me out there, I'll do it.
Yeah, we can always work it out.
For sure.
Now, any questions you want to ask me? Like I said, it's a normal conversation.
Yeah, what disabilities have you struggled with?
You know, you're the second person to ask me that today. Actually, the third person. And I should just start, stamping it on my forehead what it is. I really don't know what it is. I know I have it, but for the most part, I'm like you. Only, I learn at a slower pace. I'm more hands-on, and I don't mean that as in a sexual term. A lot of people go, oh, he learns hands-on. Oh, he's being perverted. No, but if, for an example, you use this, and you say, okay, go read it and we'll figure it out. I will, but it won't sink in. But if you sit down with me and take the time to go over it, it will sink in more. And so I'm a slow learner, and because of that, I'm labeled as mentally retarded. Go figure.
Yeah.
But this is my way of showing people that, hey, you said I can't accomplish anything. I can't go to college. I can't drive a car. But look at what I accomplished. Thanks to you, I did 167 interviews. And at least, hey, I managed to do something right. Disability or not.
That's awesome. I feel like you have a great thing going for you. I feel like you should probably decide what questions specifically you want. What do you want people to say to you? What are people going to be curious about, knowing about the people that you interview, and ask really pointed, interesting questions. And if you can do that, I think you definitely have something going for you. For sure.
Well, if you would love to work together, I'm always looking for people to work with.
Sure. I'm very busy. I don't want to promise anything, but I would love to help out when I can.
I appreciate it. Now, the next question I was going to ask you, who motivated you or who influenced you? Well, two questions. One, who motivated you to become an actor, and who influenced you? I know it's kind of a similar question, but...
I would say I motivated myself to become an actress. No one in my family is in the entertainment industry. No one had that draw, really, besides me. So I think I motivated myself. And who influenced me, I think I would have to say my biggest influence, and I know it's corny, but would be Julia Roberts, because when I was young, those were all the movies that I was sort of allowed to watch as a young kid and that I could relate to, she's this tall, brunette girl with a crazy laugh and a big smile, and that's basically me. So I really saw myself in her and loved all the roles that she played, and so I think that she definitely influenced me a lot, if I had to pick one person.
Now, what famous actors have you worked with, and what roles have you ever been on TV?
Yes, I have been on TV. Most recently, the thing that most everyone would probably see me in was just a Google commercial. So I was just in the running Google ads, and people are always like, "Oh, you look so familiar," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's because you saw me in a commercial." And other than that, I've done tons of indies, and I have an indie feature coming out right now, and I have this short film that's getting a lot of good reviews and stuff. Maybe we'll go to Sundance and stuff next year, so that's exciting. And then I actually produce and direct my own stuff. So I have a web series called What Are You Even Saying? That is on YouTube right now, and we just launched it. We just got our first investor, and we're looking to expand it into an actual series. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Maybe I can be a guest star?
Maybe if we come to New York. Who knows?
You know, now do you have any, I'm going to turn it around on you now. Do you have any, what's your opinion when I first approached you about my talk show? Were you hesitant? Do you think I was the real deal, or do you think I was using the guilt card? Be honest.
I don't think you were using the guilt card. I think with the internet, it's pretty hard to differentiate, like, when someone's trying to do something shady and weird versus when someone's just being honest and pitching you an honest thing. I would say what you should do is probably cut your pitch email that you send out shorter than it is, because, like, for me, I read it and I read part of it and I was like, oh, this is so long, I don't have time. And I feel like that's what a lot of people do. So if you can get it into, like, a simple, like, 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, like, short thing, I think that would help. And I think if you also had, I don't know, like a Facebook or like a fan page or like something else that you could attach, that then people could just go see, so that they know you're like a real guy doing a real thing and not just like some creepy person in their bedroom like trying to take video of like pretty girls.
Oh, thanks.
Then that would be good, you know? So I think that would help.
No, I agree with you. And now, well, you put me on the spot. Well, it's giving me a low blow. But I'm not a creepy guy, and I guess.
No, I'm saying you're not one, but you can definitely like
pass.
Like a lot of creepy guys.
Right, absolutely. Now you mentioned Facebook. I do have Facebook, and this is the question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
But I do have a Facebook and Twitter, and people can follow me at hashtag, or people say hashtag, but I have an @ logo. Don't ask me why I have @, but people can follow me at the KeithAndrewNetW. It's supposed to be network, but cut off network, so it's KeithAndrewNetW. And people can also follow me on the KeithAndrewNetwork.com, and on the that's also Keith Andrew Network on Facebook. But without beating around the bush, rambling on, how did you create your fan base, and how can we follow you?
Well, all the normal places. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and you can find my web series on YouTube under Ways, and it's What Are You Even Saying is what it stands for, so it's WAYES. You can find it on YouTube really easy, and you can find the website at ways.co. So Atlee Feingold, I'm pretty much the only Atlee Feingold like in the world. So it's really not hard to find me. If you spell my name out to your fans, then I'm sure everyone could find me very easily.
All right. Now I bet you get this a lot because your last name is Feingold. Is it? Yeah. Do people ever say fine gold? That's it, like
fine, yeah, like you're a fine piece of gold, yeah, all the time.
Well, you are.
Thanks.
And now the other question I was going to ask you was, does your fan base matter at a certain point, or does it matter about doing a good deed? Like, for a perfect example, what I'm doing.
I think your fan base matters a lot, sadly. I think that nowadays what people pay attention to are your followers and how many hits you have, how many views you have, how many shares you have, how many subscribers you have. So I'm right now in the middle of doing the same thing, which is trying to, kind of expand my fan base and get more people talking about what I'm doing and me and blah, blah, blah. So I think that it takes time, but I think that also, you just have to be a little bit relentless about, boosting your posts and, telling your friends and family and just always sharing and hoping people start a conversation about it.
Well, you follow me, I follow you. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reason I bring up Twitter and Facebook is I pay for Twitter. They help me find people, and the numbers were booming. I can't snap my fingers, but they were going up. Now I'm like 134 in my Facebook. I'm in fact 57. I don't understand why my numbers on Facebook are going up, and my Twitter numbers are going up, but my Facebook numbers aren't moving. So, are people more on Twitter than Facebook, or?
I think that it's like a crapshoot, to be honest with you. I think that some things work better on Twitter, some things work better on Facebook, some things work better on YouTube. And you just really have to try them all and like pay attention to what's working on all the different platforms and what's not, and then tailor your information to that.
All right, it's good advice.
Yeah.
Now, like, how many followers do you have?
On which platform?
It doesn't really matter, any of them.
I think I have about like 100 to 1,000 on Facebook. And then on Twitter, I'm not sure. I would have to check. I haven't checked in a long time. Probably like not very many, like 900, 600. And then on Instagram, I think I have like 800. And then what's the other one? That's all I can think of right now. But I obviously think everyone should be up to like at least 1,000. So, you know.
I can't even get past, I was lucky enough to get 134, but, yeah, the other thing, the reason I bring it up too, is people say to me, well, what is your fan base? What is your demographic? What do you do? I made sure I catered to everyone. I interviewed a whole bunch of white people, black people, Spanish people, Asian. I started recently with Japanese, Chinese, and a couple Gothic girls.
Why don't you make a podcast?
What do you mean? Do you like Blog Talk Radio?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm making sure I'm covering all my bases.
Yeah.
So I don't want someone eventually to just say, why did you interview more black people than white people, or more Gothics than Asians? It doesn't matter. I covered all my bases. Now, to answer your question about the podcast, when I first started my talk show, I interviewed people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Dragon Ball Z, from Amazing Spider-Man. And to ask me why, it was stupid on my part, but it was what you said, do a podcast, that's audio. And I was talking to Blog Talk Radio, and long story short, there's this girl. I know I don't own the rights to Uncensored. Uncensored could be used for me, could be used for you, could be used for my cat over there. Uncensored could be used for anyone. But this actress took my idea and my whole concept, and I was talking to Blog Talk Radio, and I didn't want to pay $40 a month, make a long story short. And they said, well, $40 a month, and what we're doing right now, like, I was lucky enough to get 2 people today. That's fine. Or yesterday I was lucky to get someone, or the day before. But I didn't want to pay $40 a month. Even if I wasn't using their services, I would still be pissing it away. So I went through a whole month without finding anyone, and I can see $40 going bye-bye. So I thought this would be easier, just do an episode on a habit. Also, when I was interviewed, and people can go to my website, I was interviewed from New York City, from, actually not in person, but I was interviewed overall by Mark Melanie. He's from the Reading Circle. And you're from LA, so you might know L.A. Cooper, A.L. Cooper, from Talking Out Loud.
Oh, I don't know, but I'm sure he grew up.
Well, so he also interviewed me, and I also said to them, and they said the same thing, why don't you have a podcast? And I told them the whole story. But people also said to me, and it gets me, why don't you have sponsors? Why don't you have demographers, sponsors, or whatever fancy words you want to use? And I was like, I don't know. Would you like to help me with that? No, if you're not capable of doing it yourself, and it's not meant to be. It's like, okay, well, thanks for your support. A couple sponsors say to me, well, who do you cater to? The whites, blacks, Asians? I don't know. Okay. What's your age range? I don't know. Apparently I used the word fuck, so I guess 21 and up. As far as I know of.
I think, don't care about all that stuff. Just create something that's really interesting and put it on the internet and then see what happens. That's all you can really do nowadays, And if it's going to be something big, someone will find you.
That's true, and it depends on the interview. You're a beautiful woman, so I know your interview is going to get a lot of hits. The one thing I did realize is the beautiful the woman isn't, the more the hits they get. I interviewed recently Double J Jeff Jarrett. He's a former WWE, WWF wrestler.
Oh my god. Wait. I know Jared Tuillis?
No, Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, what does he look like? Do you have a picture?
Well, he's the founder of TNA Wrestling, and he's the president of GWF.
Is he young-ish or old?
I think he's 43, 44.
I don't know. I feel like I know him, but maybe not. So continue.
Well, for people who want to know, my Double J interview, he's a former WWF Intercontinental Champion. And because he's a wrestler, people would go to that. I also interviewed Lenny Pablo. He was the brother of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, cool.
I interviewed one of my good friends, Kurgan Mayhem. He did the voice of Goldar from Power Rangers. My friend Ron Reisman did the music. I'm trying to get her back on the show, but she was nice enough to help me do the demo. But her name is Barbara Goodson. She was Rita Raposa from Power Rangers. I also interviewed Eric Vale. He did the voice of Trunks. I interviewed.
Have you sent your stuff to Soul Pancake? Do you know Soul Pancake?
I have no idea what that is.
Look up Soul Pancake. It's a YouTube channel that they follow a lot of people similarly to yourself who have certain either disabilities or hardships in their life and then have chose to do something else with that. So check it out. I think a smart thing for you to do would be to find other people in the space that are doing what you're doing and see if they're successful and then kind of figure out how they became successful.
That's true. And I tried reaching out to Fox News, CNN, CW, NBC, CBS. Even though, those are kind of out of my league, I'm not there yet. So I tried even listening Daily News, The Record, The Post. And no one would even take the time. Oh no, it's nice. Yeah, I get this too from people. Yeah, it's great what you're doing. It's really wonderful, but I really want nothing to do with it, or I want no part of it, or it's not a big enough story to be in the paper. That's okay. Let's talk about rape and murder and gang banging and all this other bullshit that it turns people's stomachs. Really? You have this heartfelt story that I'm doing, but you want to talk about rape and murder? And it's no wonder people are fucked up.
Yeah, it's true.
Look at Criminal Minds, there's a lot of shows, Criminal Minds, Stalkers. There's really mentally disturbed people out there, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you just gotta keep doing what you're doing and believe in yourself, and something will happen.
Hope so. Now, do you have it wrapping up? Do you have any funny stories you'd like to share, or?
I have a pretty funny story. Alright, I'll tell you the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. So I go to a gym, a gymnastics gym, because I used to dance, and I'm learning to do some walkovers and some different stuff. And there's usually only guys there. And I go with my guy friend, but he couldn't go this day, so I went by myself. And I was already really, really nervous going by myself because it's a gym full of guys. And I got there, and I was working out by myself. I'm the worst one. Like, they're all doing crazy backflips and stuff, and I'm, like, just trying to do, like, a good cartwheel, basically. And I'm, like, working out, and then I, like, go to stretch. I'm, like, stretching in the corner, and then this boy comes up to me, and he, like, whispers in my ear, and he's like, excuse me, he's like, I'm sorry, you're probably going to hate me for this, but you have a hole in your pants. And I was like, what? And he was like, you have a hole in your pants. And I was like, where? And he's like right on your butt. And I was like right on my butt? And he's like, yeah. And I reached back, and it was like perfectly a hole, like right on my butt. And I had been stretching and working out for probably a half an hour with this huge hole on my butt. Then I had to ask this guy to go over and get my jacket. Meanwhile, all the boys in the gym are like trying not to laugh. Like, they all have been looking at me for like an hour with this hole. And I have to like do the walk of shame, get my jacket, roll it around my waist, walk all the way across the entire gym so that I can leave. I didn't even put my shoes on. I just grabbed myself and left. I was so embarrassed. It was terrible.
How come you should have been proud of it? It's like, yes, I do have a hole in my pants.
I was so embarrassed. I just like could not. It was terrible. It was really bad.
Yeah, I got two funny stories for you. My parents got these toilets. It's things by Kenmore or something like that, and they're horrible. They're horrible freaking toilets. And then for people out there, don't buy it. They're Kenmore toilets. They're the power flush, so they use less water.
Oh.
You're probably gonna throw up. You want me to continue?
I don't know.
Basically, I went to use the bathroom. I took a dump.
Okay.
And, you know, we had a couple of plumbing problems. And it's like, well, if you gotta use the bathroom, if you're gonna take a dump, make sure you don't clog the toilet. So I pooped, I flushed, I went down. I thought I went down. So I did my business and I went to flush. It didn't go down. It started to come back to the top. So I basically, make a long story short, after a half hour, I had to take responsibility for my actions because no one's gonna clean up after me. I basically went scuba shit diving. I basically had to shove my hand in the pipe and pull everything out as I get. And guess what? We had dinner for next day. We had dumplings. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna look at dumplings ever the same way again.
Oh God.
That's why I hate Kenmore toilets. It's like, he just give me a normal toilet. No, we need to save water, and it's like, don't give me that shit. If you get a toilet, it's meant for what you have to do. You know, how was that going? Anyway, that's my embarrassing story. So my brother says, huh, I smell shit. Huh, Keith must be coming downstairs. Hey, shit man, did you enjoy your time in the bathroom? So it's kind of like, you know, that's... First he picks on me for my talk show, now he makes fun of me for that.
It's okay, one day you'll be famous.
And the other funny story is, today, I almost I was crying this morning because I thought I almost lost my best friend.
Oh no.
Because he's 14, he's sleeping right now, I can show you afterwards. And basically he wasn't moving this morning. He was, but his eyes were kind of rolled back of his head. So I thought this was it. He was going to die. And by the way, I'm talking about a cat, not a 14-year-old. But he's my best friend. He eats with me, sleeps with me. You know, I was saying to God, take me instead, or give me more time, give me an extra a year, give me 2 more years or something. He's 14, just give me more time. And luckily, knock on wood, because today's Friday the 13th, so it's kind of like when all this is happening. Why did it have to happen on unlucky 13? But knock on wood, he was fine, so I was lucky 13 actually. But get to the funny part. We were getting our floors done. We were just ripping up the carpet and putting out hardwood floors. And the guy came over, his name was McGuire. And he thought there was someone in the basement because we put all the cats in the basement. So Molly, my friend, he's very special. We're convinced he came back as a person because he does a lot of things. Well, you get the idea. He was saying hello, hello, and the guy, McGuire, thought there was someone actually in the basement. So he opened the basement door, and all the cats came running out. He went down there. There's someone down here, but it sounded like a person saying hello. So he had to pick up all the cats. He scurried in, closed the door. As soon as he took 2 steps away, the door handle flipped down, flipped up, door opened. All the cats came running out. My cat knows how to open doors.
Whoa!
Because we don't have the round handle, we have the flat ones.
Oh.
So he got all the cats, and actually the funny part was he didn't know, but Molly knew how to open doors, so he didn't tell him till afterwards. So when he opened the door, he went, "Son of a bitch!" So
I got scared.
So he threw all the cats downstairs. Just scrambled. Not actually threw them, just hurried them down. And he stood near the door. And the same thing, 2 minutes went by, the door handle started to go up and down. He put his hand on the door. It's like it would hold it. And then you hear, no, no. So that's one of my funny stories of him. I'm a big fan of cats.
Me too.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I said me too.
Now, wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners?
Just keep watching. Many more things to come. Many more exciting things. There's not another Atlee Feingold, so we'll see what happens.